who fled Vienna in 1938. He was deeply affected by the fact that his intellectual father, a prominent lawyer in Austria, was forced to support his family in his new country by becoming a zipper salesman. Harry claimed he would rather die than give up his own dream of becoming a physician. Ironically, Harry killed himself just as he was becoming extremely successful in his medical career. His private practice was booming. He had been recently appointed an assistant professor on the faculty of a prominent New York medical school, and he was beginning to achieve recognition as a pioneering researcher in the field of urology, having just published his 14th article in a leading medical journal. Harry's dedication to his work seduced me from recognizing the truly despondent state of his mind. Even now, I find it almost impossible to understand how he was able to treat patients 2 hours before executing his own death. Like most other survivors, the option of suicide seemed inconceivable to me at the time. Sure, Harry was depressed. Of course I could understand his sadness at his parents' deaths. Yes, I could see that he was becoming withdrawn from me and that our marriage was suffering. I'll get over this, Harry promised me, and I allowed myself to believe him. Like Eric's, my crystal ball is much clearer now. In razor-edge sharpness, I can reconstruct the various signs of Harry's foreplanned death. I recall his reaction when a medical colleague killed himself on a steamy August night, less than 6 months before Harry's own suicide. I had received a telephone call from a mutual friend explaining how Chris had left his hospital in a small Texas town after completing evening rounds, had driven to a nearby lake and shot himself in the head with a gun he kept in the trunk of his car. I decided not to tell Harry until he came home from his own hospital rounds, because I did not want to give him such devastating news on the telephone. But I was unprepared for his reaction. He really showed those sons of bitches, he replied, without even knowing the context of Chris's suicide. There was an almost triumphant smile on Harry's face, which so frightened me that I was unable to ask him what he meant. As I map out the signs that led to Harry's own suicide, I see that his eerie response that evening reflected a deep inner turmoil that was too terrifying for me to acknowledge. I also remember the sadness that never left him after his mother suffered a stroke 2 years before she eventually died. His father had called from Colombia to say that although her condition was serious, the doctors assured him that she would not suffer any permanent impairment. Harry flew down immediately, taking with him medication that was difficult to obtain in Colombia, and copies of articles for the doctors describing the most advanced treatment for stroke victims. Harry returned the next week a different man. "My mother is gone," he reported in an undramatic, clinical tone. "She can speak, even remember, but her soul has been eradicated." Harry had gone to the hospital directly from the airport. His mother was lying in bed in elegant bedclothes, her hair coiffed, her nails manicured. As always, the dignified Viennese lady. When Harry went to kiss her, his father prompted her. "You know who this is, don't you?" She replied, "Of course, this is my son Harry." From the day he was born, Harry's mother had called him by the nickname Stroopy. I had never heard her refer to him in any other way, whether she was talking to him or talking about him. After her stroke, she never called him that again. Harry's diagnosis was irrevocable. Even though my mother is able to give what she knows to be the correct answer, she has no memory of emotions, he told me. I have lost her forever. I pinpoint that conversation as the moment when the spirit started ebbing out of Harry. It was almost as if he had joined with his mother, responding and acting in a socially appropriate manner, but without any sense of joy or hope. Our once complex and rich relationship, previously filled with discussions, disagreements, and eventual détentes, started straining as two long-time partners slowly became strangers, each of us struggling alone with our own private terrors. Over the following 2 years, Harry flew back and forth to Colombia on a frequent basis, each trip sapping more of his diminishing reservoir of optimism. One weekend when he was down there, his mother died of a second, more powerful stroke. Harry returned with one of his black clouds over his head. This time I knew that it was neither temporary nor without risk. It darkened, it strengthened, and it spread. 5 months after his mother's death, Harry's father called to say that his colon cancer, which had